do you guys now? I'll just let you guys talk. Same.
Kelp was there. Kelp was there. It is 4:33 and you're listening to KOPN Columbia. Time for a little live in-studio music here at KOPN, a great tradition that we have. Joining me in the studio, representative of tonight's Academy of Rock Showcase at the Bridge, Asylum For The Sane. Here we are.
Drop my pick.
Just a few seconds of what will be a much longer set tonight, I take it. Joining me in the studio, Sophie Krug, Lane Bascom, Casey Solomon, Shelby Thomas, and manager Mackenzie Thomas. They are Asylum For The Sane. Does anyone know how many bands are on the bill tonight at the Academy Rock thing?
I think 7.
7, that sounds
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I should mention and remind me of this, that it's also a benefit for WKPE, which is the radio station here. But not every high school has a working radio station. I know Randy Wright years ago worked hard to get that done. And Columbia, Missouri too, has a great radio history, believe it or not. You'll learn that eventually. But let's talk about rock right now. What I'm looking at right here on the screen, that last piece we heard, is you're in a garage there, right?
Actually, we're in Kenzie and Shelby's basement.
The basement. Yeah, but this is classic stuff. When did you guys start doing this? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll take turns. We talked with excuse me. We talked with Sophie first.
Yeah.
Lane is answering now.
Well, I got the band together actually because I wanted to start one, and I think we all started around October-ish. We actually had our first meeting at a Dairy Queen by our school, and then we decided to have the practices in Shelby and Mackenzie's basement because Shelby's the drummer. So. Yeah.
Well, that's the most to lug around. You mean.
Yeah,
Oh, lucky
exactly.
Shelby's parents, but that's what they get for buying your drums, right? Or did you inherit the drums from your brother?
No, they bought it for me for Christmas.
That's great because, you know, of course, and people are tired of hearing me say this, Missouri drummers, if you can keep them sober, are like the best drummers, especially from here and just south of here, you know, all the way down to Arkansas. So congratulations. When you say we got together for a meeting, you mean the 4 of you got together?
And Mackenzie, yeah.
And Mackenzie as well. So were you acquaintances before this?
I was friends with all of them, and they didn't know each other except for Sophie and Casey.
Yeah, Casey and I have been pretty good friends for a couple years.
Yeah, Mackenzie and Shelby because they're sisters, but.
You're all Hickman students, right?
Shelby's 12.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Well, we've had much younger kids on, and actually that drive wheel kid, God, he was around forever. Jimmy Joe Culbertson's kid was in here when he was like, well, anyway. So it's not especially young. In fact, it's good. It's to your advantage to be a young Shelby. Now, Shelby's let's go over who plays what. You're the drummer. We already ascertained that, Shelby, right?
Yeah.
Casey?
Lead singer.
Lead singer, that's you up there. Lane?
Bass.
Bass guitar. And Sophie, you're the guitarist
Yeah.
that I see here. All right, who handles the songwriting? Is there any songwriting, or are you guys doing all covers?
There is songwriting. For the show, we're doing covers, but we did write an original last night that we're going to perform today.
Oh, on the air?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. I didn't know that. But that was...
Sophie wrote most of the lyrics, but I think we all kind of helped on the development of the lyrics.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious about this when you get together to write, like as a collaborative process. Who does one person take over the show? Who kicks in what? What happens in that?
Well,
You don't get out a whiteboard, I imagine, and say, here's what we're going to, ideas, good, bad.
No, we don't get on a whiteboard. I think what we did is we've all pretty much written song lyrics beforehand. So we kind of took them all together and sort of built off of what we already had from all of us, and then we just added the instruments to it.
Did you start off with like a jam, like just a da-da-da-da-da, to like kind of chant the, you know what Rufus Wainwright does? He makes up a fake German thing that he sings in, and he just kind of like sings along. Or did you, somebody come in with a riff, Sophie, did you come in with like a riff that was in your head?
Actually, what happened is we couldn't think of a chord progression, and so Casey, okay, my number one guitar inspiration is Frank Iero, and so Casey said, if you were with Frank right now, what would you say? And he said, I said, F you, and then she was like, well then we should start with an F, and so it just kind of went
Really?
from there. Yeah.
Well, it's
I tried to keep it appropriate.
The serendipitous, the process. We should explain that Frank is a guitar whiz,
Yeah.
and puts out DVDs. Huh? What is he? Is he local?
No, he
He's like that guy from Dream Theater.
No.
No. Who?
Frank Iero was the rhythm guitarist for My Chemical Romance, and he also does bands on his own, like Leathermouth and Decibels, and he's currently with a band called Frank Iero and the Celebration right now, which Casey and I saw in
We're not here
October.
to talk about Frank.
No, actually we are, because I was going to talk to Sophie about. Lane, you were the one who knew everybody, okay, and Sophie knew Casey beforehand. Shelby, would it be safe to say you all have similar tastes in music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it? Was it lonely for you not having it? Did you have other people in your group that you talked to about music? Was there a certain set of kids you hung out with who were music kids or something?
No, not really.
No?
No.
So did music come up much
Um,
in your social life before you joined the band?
well, it's so, like, I've always, like, music has always been, like, a big thing to me.
Are you band?
No, but
Oh.
I just like listening to it, and then, but I never really talked to anybody at school that liked the same stuff as me.
Well, then why was your family involved in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, they like the, they listen to, like, my kind of music and stuff, like
Mackenzie had a
does.
little something to do with that. I thought you were the older sister,
I am.
actually. You are the older
Yeah.
sister. Oh, okay, that's a classic relationship
Yeah.
then. So I got that. Okay, that's the family. Now Lane, I know yours, because your family is very involved in music, and
Yes.
you've been interested in it. You just been privy to some of the backstage type stuff that can be really inspiring.
Yes.
You see that, oh, this guy's a normal guy, I could do that, what he does. I hope that you say that. Now the other two, what was music a big part of your life before the band? Let's start with Sophie. Did you take lessons?
Yeah, I did. I got my guitar, my old acoustic guitar that broke a couple years ago. It was really depressing. But my parents got that for me for Christmas because I showed a bit of interest in playing guitar. And I got lessons from a dude who does local music in town. And recently I stopped taking lessons because I wanted to kind of take my own direction. And
Who's your teacher, by the way?
Jason Day.
Oh, okay. There's some fine teachers around. So you learned what you
Yeah.
could from him, and then you decided, okay, you're going to strike out.
Yeah,
on your own.
and he was an
Now,
amazing teacher, but
was this decision before or after you met Lane and the rest of the gang?
it was before. It was about a year before.
So
I'd
you're
been-
casting about for something to do. Are you
Yeah.
writing on your own?
Yeah.
Or, yeah.
I've
Did
been
you
at-
play out at all on your own?
No, not really. Only for like family, friends, gatherings, stuff like that. Nothing actual.
Uh-huh. I see. Not on stage.
Right.
And now, finally, we have Casey, right?
Yeah.
So, describe your life. Did you guys you were friends with Lane, right?
Yeah, I became friends with Lane through Sophie.
Right. And so, was it music? Was that the connection?
I think it was partially music, yeah.
Yeah, partially and partially just you just liked each
I
other.
liked them, yeah.
Somebody to hang out with.
Yeah.
It's as good a reason to hang out in a band as any. I mean, as if you needed one when you're young, I guess. Okay, so let's talk about how long the band's been together. I mean, Lane, we're talking about this like, I decided to go. What are we talking about? How long ago was this?
It was either
Early
early or
October.
mid-October. We've been together just a few months, couple months.
That
so.
sounded pretty good. What I heard there.
Thank you.
Now, that's important with a band is commitment. Are you guys practice regularly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Usually
So-
twice a week.
Right. And you've played a little bit, I know. Did you play as part of the camp showcase? Was that the same band you were in?
No.
Yeah, okay, so that was.
Not the same.
Okay, so have you guys had a gig yet?
No, this is our first gig
Oh,
together.
really? Okay, how'd the set list come together? How many songs we got?
We have 3 songs.
Yeah? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you sat down and wrote one last night. And why is that? Does that indicate that the reason that you guys got together is to really write your own music and make it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, creating
Yeah.
our own music is something that we're all very interested in, and since we share similar music tastes and we all like each other,
Yeah.
we're all
That's
really
good.
good friends. So it's definitely something that we had in mind.
And the Academy of Rock, actually, it's not actually a total, trust, what do you call it? A trustful zone. It's not like, what do you call those spaces? It's just like a no fear zone, you know? I mean, there's still repercussions if you fall off the stage or screw up or whatever. I mean, but it actually is pretty supportive to have a whole organization like saying, hey, these are the people who usually had no reason to stick around school after. I mean, I didn't. I mean, when I was interested in music, I was more interested in, I'd read, but I'd read about music, you know, I'd read about that. It's nice. I like the way they formalize that. The showcase tonight, let's give a few details out. I'm talking with Asylum For The Sane, and the 4 is a number 4. You can catch some of their stuff on Facebook on Tracy Lane's site, but a better idea would be to go over to the bridge, and we've been talking about the bridge and all of those facilities over there earlier today, and check them out tonight. 7 bands. Do you have any idea which order they're going to go in, you guys?
We're second, I know that much.
You're second, so you're going on second.
Yeah, we
Okay.
don't know about the other band.
And this isn't any kind of competition or contest. That's what I
Oh,
like
no.
about these things. There is a prize sometimes for but I remember I was a judge at the very first couple, and that was always kind of a joke that it was a competition. There should have been big quotes around the Battle of the Bands type thing. I'm interested though that you guys are this is the first all-female band I've seen, I think, come out of it. But the biggest inspiration I saw over the years was, well, James Fitzmaurice was, that they had women involved in that group. But I think one time I saw, it was 4 or 5 years ago at the Blue Note, a band was playing and the lead singer had graduated, and so he was ineligible. They found this out at the last minute, he couldn't do it. But his little sister, who had sat through every practice, knew all the songs and went up on stage and sang with the band and killed it too. And I was very inspired. Tonight, I think this is going to overwhelm me. So let's talk about the song you wrote, you guys. Now that you've done it, now you got a taste of it, I imagine you're ready to keep going, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
On the musical now, I'm not talking about, there's lyrics, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What about sharing like personal stuff? Like, I mean, I guess we're gonna share it in a song with the whole world. I mean, you're not embarrassed to share it personally in front of each other, right?
Not really.
We're pretty open.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
a pretty open group with each other.
And is everybody notebooks? Is that what they do, or do you put? How do you keep the ideas? Do you just trust the good ones to stay, or do you write them down, or what?
I usually, speak for me personally, I usually write down what I write. Like if I have like a random thought in the middle of the day, I'll like write it on the notes on my phone or.
Right, put it in there. What about you, Lane? How do you remember? Same thing?
About the same, yeah.
If you have a piece of paper, you don't have a journal per se, you just keep
Yeah.
it around. And same with you?
Yeah, usually when I wake up at like 12.
So you have something handy that you can,
Yeah.
and you're always thinking of that. And what about you, Shelby?
I pretty much do the same thing they do. Just if something comes to my mind, I'll just write it down.
I'm so interested in female drummers, I really am, because there's a
She's great.
nuance
We're really
there.
proud. We
You know,
love
there's
her.
so much room for
12-year-old.
nuance with the pocket and everything like that. And the best hitters can hit hard, but they know when not to hit. I can't wait for tonight. Okay, let's set this thing up. We're going to have some live in-studio acoustic music. This is Asylum For The Sane, one of 7 bands that'll be appearing from all the different Columbia Public Schools, I guess. It's going to be Hickman, Battle High, which, God, they really just came on out of the gate, didn't they? Battle High, all of a
we
sudden.
were not expecting that.
I know. I heard they took all the great teachers from Oakland and put them over there. That's the reason why. It's 12 minutes before 5 o'clock. We're going to hear something brand new and live. Why don't you guys set up the song, and we'll hear it.
Are we good?
Yes.
Alright, so as I mentioned before, this is a song we wrote last night in a short amount of time. And it's called Bathroom Stalls.
Every time I need some stairs, I resort
That's amazing. You guys came up with that last night. Well, you join the ranks of my friends who are just their everyday schmoes, but when they come up here, all of a sudden they can just drop magic at will. And I'm very, very impressed. That's talent you're going to take with you for the rest of your life. Congratulations, ladies. You sounded
you.
great. I would say good luck tonight, but I don't think you're going to need it, really. Once again, 7:30 is when the doors open and the bands start. $5 cover. All proceeds.
7.
7, I'm sorry. All proceeds go to Amnesty International, which has been a traditional, like a big thing down at Hickman over the years. And then you're also supporting both the Academy of Rock, which represents the Columbia Public School System, and is it KWPE, which is Hickman's radio station. Thanks so much once again, ladies, and good luck, or not good luck. You're listening to the so-called Good Life on KOPN Columbia.